I got all these wonderful scans of the little tiny bubba that's growing inside of me. Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. You've made it to video 2. Wow, I am so proud of myself for getting this far, and thank you for joining along with me. I am just elated today, over the moon. I am currently on a personal day. It's a Wednesday, midweek. It's beautiful outside. However, we're not outside. You are joining me in my beautiful office plantarium. This has been my little COVID hobby. Check out this monstera I'm growing. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh. Anyways, we are not here to talk about my plant babies today. We are here to talk about real life babies because this girl right here has fallen pregnant. Today was my first ultrasound. I'm 11 and a half weeks along. Oh my goodness, I got all these wonderful scans of the little tiny bubba that's growing inside of me. It was kind of hard for the ultrasound technician to get some good pictures because this little bubba was wild. As soon as we got onto the ultrasound screen, the baby was just tumbling. You could see the spine moving in all directions, like limbs throwing out, like she could hardly get a good picture. We must have tried for like 10 minutes before we got anything. And she was even like, holy heck, this is one active baby. So baby obviously has a zest and love for life like dad and myself. But the reason that this pregnancy is so exciting, I mean, every pregnancy is exciting in most instances. For me and my husband particularly, we have been together for 10 and a half years and we have hummed and hawed for a baby for so many years. You almost get to that point of the relationship and it's almost expected of you. Us liking to be a little different, you know, we decided to push the boundaries a little bit more, but also we've had our own shit in life to figure out. If you have watched my previous YouTube video, you'll know that we have quite a history. My husband is a transgender woman, but also identifies as a man. So he will present as he presents and actually has become quite comfortable with androgynous in our house as well. So that's a whole nother video or a whole other topic. This pregnancy is really special to us. We also have a son, technically a stepson of mine. His name is Ryelin, and he's going to be 13 in just a couple of months. And he has begged for a baby brother or sister since I met him. It's something he's always wanted and something that I've just never felt ready for. I always had these ideas that I had to be this, that, or the other place in my life. I wanted to achieve this goals. I wanted to be here with my career. I needed to save X amount of money. And the truth is, like, there is just no perfect time to have a baby. Rylan's obviously got a little bit older over the last couple of years. Obviously he's going to be 13 and we've loved a little bit of the extra space we've had from having that only child with us all the time. But definitely at Christmas time, we decided it was time to start having a baby. Having hormonal issues is something that I've struggled with for the past 5 or 6 years. I had a lot of stress in my young adolescence. My dad had passed away of cancer, created a lot of stress on me I didn't know I had. I just kind of like held it in and dealt with it. Ryelin gaining custody of him and making sure he was in a safe position was another stress. I had done bikini competitions as well, which puts another incredible stress on the human body, especially women. I actually have come to believe that not everyone is made to compete, and I'm definitely not one of those people. My body did not handle it well. It rebounded really badly. The worst case being after 2 seasons, my endocrine system was completely shot. I just had a completely absent menstrual cycle. Nothing would show up whatsoever. If it did show up, I would maybe get like incredibly light spotting for a couple of days, if that, maybe just a day, and then it would be completely absent. There was a time where it was absent for nearly 3 years. After that time, I decided that it was time to look into a specialist. I had gone for a scan of my ovaries, like an ultrasound, and it was found that I had 30 cysts on my right ovaries and another 5 or 6 on my right, 30 on the left. And I could feel them. Like when I would twist and turn in certain positions, I could feel that stabbing pain within the ovary itself. I wouldn't say it was so debilitating I couldn't do things, but I was starting to get concerned. And my doctor said it looked like it could be PCOS. I really didn't have the signs or symptoms to go along with PCOS. I wasn't putting on weight. I was incredibly thin. I'm 5'8" and I was weighing in around like 115 pounds, which is, just way too light for some of my stature in my frame. Completely not healthy. I had like scaled skin. It was so dry and inflamed. My hair would fall out in chunks in the shower. It just wasn't overall good. I had insane digestive problems, couldn't digest anything. Even eating simple foods like, you know, yams or bananas, they would leave me in stomach cramps and having like digestive problems within the gastrointestinal tract. So all in all, it wasn't good. He actually sent me to a specialist because he wasn't sure of his prognosis. So I ended up seeing an endocrinologist and a gynecologist, and also another individual who was actually an intern at the time who specialized in women's health issues, was going for gynecologist, but also was a natural health practitioner as well. And a lot of really fantastic support that we found. And it was found that after some additional blood work and tests that I wasn't producing any estrogen whatsoever. I had hyperthyroidism and my thyroid wasn't producing any thyroid stimulating hormone. It's the hormone that signals your ovaries to like push out an egg. And so you will have a menstrual cycle and everything to go alongside with that. My eggs were simply like staying within my ovaries or around them and just creating cysts all over. So luckily all these cysts were benign. The last time I had an ultrasound, which was actually this most recent January, that we found out that the cysts were basically nothing. Nothing was really left. You could see a lot of like really, really light, faint spots, but my doctor and all the specialists believed that it wasn't anything to be concerned of. It was these cysts that had just dissipated over time. Getting over any thyroid problems was a huge issue of mine. I did what I could. I took my workouts down. I did yoga for basically just a year straight with some low intensity workouts and a little bit of weights. Really scaled things back and just listened to my body on what felt good. I rested when I needed to rest, did a lot more stretching, you know, dove into journaling and mindfulness exercises and completely overhauled my diet. I had to do an elimination diet for quite some time after what was like working and what wasn't working for me, and including foods that I could tolerate again, slowly. So within the last year, I made it a goal of mine that, you know, I needed to put on like a good 10 to 15 pounds and just started to get a lot more flexible. And even quarantine really helped, I find, like alleviate stress. And stress is a big contributor to hormonal issues or endocrine issues, specifically with women. I had been holding so much stress and burnout from previous experiences I never dealt with properly. I started seeing counselors. Of course, my husband coming out as a transgender woman alleviated a lot of things within our relationship and made our communication so much stronger. I don't believe that somebody coming out has to deteriorate a relationship. In our instance, it made us so much better and stronger. So fast forward to December of 2020, when we finally decided over Christmas that we were going to try and get pregnant. I still had a bit of an absent period at this point, and I was on a high dose birth control, basically to just get the estrogen that I needed. So say what you want about birth control, it got my estrogen levels back up to a heavy level. So me and my doctor decided we go off those birth control pills, go from some scans. My ovaries were starting to look like really good. They looked like they were clear of the cysts with just some minor spots that had showed up. My estrogen levels looked fantastic. They were right in the middle of where they were supposed to be. So yeah, we just went with the flow. I felt like this was a time where I just like let all expectations go. I had been told I wasn't ever going to naturally conceive, or if I was, it was going to be very unlikely. So I had been on a wait list for fertility for several months. Actually, I still haven't got a call for fertility. So very blessed that we were actually able to conceive naturally, and very, very fast at that as well. I ended up having a cycle ovulation tracking as well. Just 1 month went by, and then the second month I ovulated and I had conceived. And it was thrilling. I couldn't believe it when I looked at that test. I was like, unfucking real. Like, I always knew in the back of my mind, I probably didn't need fertility. That somehow, some way, and like my doctor said, it wasn't ready at this time. My doctor was very set that these problems could like figure themselves out over time, whereas the specialist I went to said she hasn't seen level out over time. Fertility is something that scared the shit out of me too, which really like prevented me from making the decision to have a baby as well. And I mean, if that was going to be the method, that was going to be the method I took. But fortunately, me and my husband were able to conceive naturally. And I'm currently 11 weeks pregnant right now. In 3 days, had my first scan. The baby was so energetic, So happy. Looks to be like everything is well there. The placenta's attached behind. I've been feeling really good, really fantastic. I've had so much energy return towards the end of this first trimester, and it's just been a really great experience so far overall. But it's just so empowering and liberating to know that I could overcome a lot of this stress and this burnout and this overwhelm and a lot of issues that I had within myself that I was able to resolve through counseling, speaking, and other self-care practices as well. I know it's not probably that simple for everyone, and don't get me wrong, my journey has not been simple. I've been on a 4-year journey to healing and repairing myself, and it still continues here today. I still have doubts and fears that come up, but I can really sit in a secure place and know that I feel solid in this pregnancy and that I have a very healthy, happy baby to come with that as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more to come. And I'm definitely going to begin sharing a lot more about my pregnancy experience and what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, what my body feels like as we go here, because I'm going to share videos that I like to watch and that I find beneficial. And if someone else gets something out of it, that's fantastic. Anyways, bye for now.